You know, one of the things I wanted to do is I wanted to try to produce a podcast remotely using Restream.io. So I got the opportunity to do so recently, and what I didn't realize was just how easy it was to use their software. So what I want to do is this tutorial is going to cover how you can set up your own type podcast using Restream.io's live studio. I think you'll be really interested, and it really gives you a lot of features. Now, this video is sponsored by Restream.io. I do appreciate them giving me the opportunity to use their software, and this tutorial will cover a lot of the features within Restream.io. So let's go ahead and get into the tutorial. So let's go ahead now, and what you're going to want to do building a podcast, you're going to need to first log into Restream.io, come to your destinations board here where your channel is, and have all of the channels that you're going to be live streaming to set up. So here I have my Twitch and YouTube set up, connecting your channels by clicking the add channel button, selecting the platform you want to stream to, and then connecting through the API there, connecting your Twitch account, which will use your username and login, and it will connect everything together. And then once you get all that done, then we go into Intro Live Studio, and this is the meat and potatoes of setting up the podcast. So once you enter Live Studio, it's going to connect your camera first, and here we are, and type in the name that you want, and I'll just put Paul for my name. And we will join the stream, and that will set your camera up. So now we are ready to go with the camera here. The next thing you want to do is you want to start, and I think this is probably the best thing to do, is make sure your chat overlay is off, because otherwise it's going to kind of resize things like that. So make sure your chat overlay is off. Then go to captions. Now captions, this is important to do because if your podcast is set up with a lot of questions that you want to interact with your live stream with, this is where you need to go and set up certain things. Like you can set up Twitter, social media links, the title of the podcast, any different general messages you want to use to kind of cue the chat into doing things like this Q&A that I have set up here. And you can also set like show notes, questions that you're going to ask during the show. This is all stuff that you can get pre-planning, where you do a planning meeting with your co-host and your different guests and stuff, and kind of go through questions and that sort of thing that you're going to ask. And you can go in here and write these in here preemptively, and it saves you a lot of time. Simple to do. Let's go. What is your favorite color? And that's as easy as it is. Hit the enter key. You can do primary text. You can actually enter secondary text. It'll look something like this if you do secondary text, where the secondary text is at the bottom. But really nice stuff to do with captions. Very important to do, easy to do, and I think it's great for pre-planning your podcast, which is what we did. You can see we had a whole ton of questions here and stuff that I had already preemptively done to prepare. Next is the graphics. So whoever you're doing the podcast for, you want to make sure you try to match their brand colors as much as possible. So here you can use slides that are thumbnails that they've used in the past that has the brand colors on it. We used yellow. I will pick a color here, and I think it was this. That's the color we used. It matched the GWC brand colors, and we used this rounded theme for our lower thirds and titles, which I know Mizzy, who was the host of GWC, she really liked that. The next is setting up logos. I do recommend you put a watermark in there, and that's what we did here with the GWC. You can see at the top there, you can just click on it to hide it, or hit the eyeball again to display it. If you do not have a subscription, and that's a standard subscription and up from there, you will be limited to having this Restream logo here at the top. I definitely, if you're going to do a podcast, I definitely recommend you invest in the standard version. It's going to give you more options as far as branding goes. So we got a watermark there. Now for this podcast, you can do overlays if you want. You have this little graphic like live Restream. You can add your own, which we could, you could definitely make if you have a podcast title or something you wanted to use as an overlay. Also, you do have a ton of these different graphics that you can use for your overlays here, including these Christmas themed ones that they've given you for the holiday. Video clips, now these are limited. These are mostly for like countdowns and stuff. You are limited to 300 megabytes here, and you can see the different formats that are supported. Just keep in mind that you're limited in, you know, how big they can be. So if you really wanted to show a long video, you would need to actually go in and use a source to do local video, and then you can, you know, do as big as you want. So the key with this is that when you do these video clips, and I'm going to play this countdown just to show you, it's going to mute your microphone. The good thing is it gives you a little banner at the top telling you this, so it's good to know. So it's like that, really easy. And you just simply click it to show and then click it again to hide. Next is your background. Now, when you're in full screen like I am right now, then you will not see the background. But if you're sharing a screen, for instance, which I will do this screen here, which is actually OBS. Okay, and then I bring it in. Then you see the background here in the back, and this is this purple background right here, which I can then hide. I can add some of these animated ones that you get these with your standard plan. That's just currently what I'm using. You can see those, and there's, you know, a few different animated ones there. Again, you can also upload your own, which is really nice. All right, so let's minimize that, bring the screen back in. And that is really it for your podcast, other than getting your guest invited into your stream. Now, there's a couple really neat things about this that I like. So first of all, let's go. And what I've done is I've taken a link. You can get this link through your invite guest here at the button here. This little link is there. Now notice that this is a permanent link, and if you need a new one, you can refresh it. So that will not change as long as you keep in this theme here. So what I've done is I've actually sent a link over to another account that I have that I'm using, and I've done it through Discord. You can do it in any number of ways to get to your, to get to your invites and to your friends. So all right, we're back on the stream PC in the producer view. You can see that the camera here is ready to go. And by turning it on, then you now have two cameras. Now notice the quality of it. It will get better the more you stay on. At first it seems to be somewhat grainy, but it does seem to get better, at least for what I have seen, once you stay in for a little bit, and it'll clean up. But so that is pretty much how you invite a guest in, and you could do this up to 10 times, you know, for the standard plan and the free plan. You can have as many of those guests as you want. And then it's really neat because once you do that, you can have each of your guests pair their channels. Allows them to give you permission to stream to their channels using Restream. So Restream will automatically link up to their channels through the pairing function, and then you will be streaming to their channels also, which is a really nice thing. So that is it in a nutshell. Pretty easy to do. You've got these different layouts. Here's the one that we were using when we were doing the GWC podcast, and we had this background going. We did add a chat overlay in, and so, you know, they were asking questions and they were saying hello. You're also getting follow alerts in here and different things like that. And through this, you can also, you know, display your chat questions directly on the stream, which is a nice little feature by doing this right here. If you click the chat, it will come up as one of your different caption graphics, which is really neat. I like that a lot. And you can also bookmark these. so that they save under these pinned messages. Say if you're in the middle of a conversation, but you see a chat that you want to use later for a question, for instance, you can pin it and it will save these under these pinned messages, which is really nice. And when you're done with it, you can unclick the star and go. And you can have up to 50 of those in that pinned messages area. So it's really nice. I like this functionality a lot, and it really makes producing a podcast super easy, because not only do you have all of your guests in here now, but you can also bring and control the audio levels. Say if one microphone is a little louder than the other, you can do your audio mix within the Restream right here, which is really neat. And then you of course can control the different channels. And say if my guest pun here wants to talk, then you can maximize theirs, and you can kind of focus in on them while they're talking, which is really nice. I like that a lot. So yeah, really makes producing a podcast super easy to do. So yes, this is pretty much the basics for setting up a podcast. It's that easy. Super simple. They've built everything for you right there. The infrastructure is laid out for you to just prepare, put your questions in, put whatever graphics you want to show in, and then go on with your podcast and have fun with it. So I hope you enjoyed this video, because I have had a lot of fun playing with Restream and doing podcasts with it. And it's probably the easiest production I have ever done personally. And it just went fluid and it was super smooth. And I really think Mizzy really liked it too. So anyway, everybody, thank you for watching. I do appreciate it. Again, thank you Restream for supporting this video and for giving me access to their software to be able to do these tutorials. It's been a lot of fun. So anyway, guys, thanks for watching. If you did like this video, make sure you hit the like, hit the bell for notifications, and you'll know when I have another video that goes live. I do appreciate all the support. Have a great rest of your week. We'll see you later.